This is One on One. There he is, Tom Marino, co-CEO of CohnReznick, the 11th largest accounting firm in the country.
So far, looking to move up.
You always are, right?
Have to.
By the way, let folks know, last time you were with us, also you're here with your co-CEO.
Last time we were
Ken
here,
Baggett?
Ken Baggett joined me, yes.
But put things in context for us, Tom. CohnReznick stands for two firms coming together. Describe the firms.
J.H. Cohn formed in New Jersey, 1919. The Reznick Group merged into J.H. Cohn October 1st. It was the Reznick Group since 1977. So two firms formed now the 11th largest accounting firm in the country.
I know the firm well. I've been doing a lot of leadership development for the firm for the last many years, and I've learned a lot about you guys. And one of the things that's always interesting to me, and we'll talk about the Hurricane Sandy. We've talked to several CEOs, John Lloyd from down in Meridian and other CEOs, about how they've helped their employees as well as their clients deal with the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, which is an ongoing story. Talk about that in a second. But one of the issues that you and I have talked about, it's a leadership issue, it's an organizational issue, it's a trend, important issue, diversity in the workplace and the concerns that you have about diversity in your field. Talk about it.
I think it's just about the number one issue in accounting today. Baby boomers are going to retire. They are retiring. The workforce is going to change over the next few years. And the problem today, and I'll get to the women first, about 50% of the graduates today are women, but they're not yet in leadership positions. I think of an accounting staff, any accounting staff is probably 60-40 men to women, but in leadership, it's probably 18% is all that make partner. And that's just not enough. Leave the workforce.
They leave?
They leave the workforce for the most part. In my opinion, it's not the glass ceiling anymore. It used to be. But I do think if a woman wants it, they can have it. We've put in flex hours, so flexible, there's no scheme. You tell us what you want to do. We've instituted a women's program to teach them not just how to be good accountants, but how to be good leaders. I think a firm has to do that. And it dovetails into diversity. If you look at the demographics in our country today, age 60 and over is probably 80% white. Age 19 and under is 35% non-white. You can see where the demographics are going. And entry level into the public accounting sector is probably 14-15%. So between a lack of women staying and seeing where the demographic trends of the country are going, accounting firms have to do all they can to raise the issue and let people know in accounting there is opportunity. Where there might be unemployment in the country today, 7.8, in accounting it's under 3%.
Why would the unemployment rate be so much lower than the unemployment rate in the rest of the country?
There's a great opportunity for accountants in this country today. In the past 10 years, I think the accounting profession's grown 22% numbers of people. In the next 8 years, we're expected to grow 16%. So there's opportunity. Why? There's a need for it. There's an ever-expanding need for it, and different types of reporting. Forensic reporting, fiscal monitoring has grown up. There'll be different types of reports, not just the traditional cost basis reports in the past, but other types of reports are going to be needed.
Obviously, this is an important area. By the way, before we leave it, Tom, if firms do not do a better job here in terms of diversity with women and minorities, what will happen?
Accounting firms like a pyramid. A lot of staff on the bottom, a lot of managers. You get up to partner. There's not enough partners. There's really not a firm. I mean, Steve, nobody's going to pay for my retirement when I go. It's not an option to me. It's a must. And the sad part is you look around most large accounting firms today, and it's middle-aged white men exhibiting male pattern baldness. You just don't.
That's not a long-term strategy?
That's not a long-term, it's not a sustainable strategy is what it's not.
Shifting gears, but part of a long-term discussion you've had. Right after Hurricane Sandy, I tell you, we've been interviewing CEOs from across the region who continue to deal with the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. We're doing this program beginning in February of 2013. It will repeat. Tom, right after, the biggest challenges your organization faced, not just with your people, regarding Hurricane Sandy, but your clients. What did you do, and how did you change your leadership?
Well, I think the leadership stayed its course on what we tried to do and stay faithful to. First thing we did was say, we need to help our people. We had a lot of people who suffered losses right out of the chute before there's insurance, before there's FEMA, before there's anything else. So the first thing we did was say, we don't need to be holding holiday parties this year. We're going to put that money into a fund, and you need to actually form a foundation to do it the right way. So we have another foundation. I think you know about the Cohn for Kids Foundation, but we put a foundation together for helping first employees in need of the hurricane funds, and I think we probably have over 100,000 in, with another 100,000 to come. If we can satisfy all our employees, it'll go to other victims, but it'll be through a foundation. We then contacted our, not just our clients, but with non-clients through our internet, and put up a how-to. What should you do first with your insurance company? How are you going to deal with FEMA? There was a lot of tax changes, tax extensions. Here's what you need to do. We suggested how they set up their own foundations if they want to contribute without getting into running amok at a tax.
Because they don't know how to do a foundation a lot of times.
And
it's not easy.
They don't. It's not easy. You set it up. You know a little bit about that.
501c3,
and you need to form I think it's 1023 to get it started right. But there's problems if you do it the wrong way. It's all up. It's all free. Every partner did reach out to their client and saw if they needed any assistance immediately. We let, for instance, the State Society of CPAs use our offices. We let other accountants use our offices because we're fortunate enough to have our own generator, and they needed to sustain their business as well as we do. So whatever we could do for both the community and our employees, we did.
I tell you, it's interesting. The other part of the equation is that the Reznick side of the firm that came on board was very involved down in Louisiana, Hurricane Katrina. They worked with the folks down there in helping the state of Louisiana.
They did most of the monitoring work in Louisiana, a lot in Mississippi also for Katrina. They've done other hurricane disasters. Monitoring is very important. It's going to be very important here in this state. There's a lot of money earmarked. You don't want to see it wasted, and you don't need a scandal arising out of a result of money being earmarked. So
we want to make sure all of those dollars go where they need to go, to the people who need it most.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And real quick, 30 seconds, Tom, why can't accounting firms continue to stay the way they are without merging strategically and smartly?
Well, some can, first of all.
But
I think in 30 seconds or not, there's two scenarios here. Small firms, it's succession. Baby boomers dying, retiring. Larger firms, they need a bigger footprint, deeper specialization. The marketplaces are asking for it. The PEs, the larger banks, they want a bigger footprint with more depth, more specialization. It'll work for us, it'll work for other accounting firms.
Tom Marino, Co-Chief Executive Officer, CohnReznick, the 11th largest public accounting firm in the nation.
In the nation.
Growing all the time.
Hopefully.
And thank you for being our partner here on public television.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it.
Great being here.
Stay tuned. One-on-one will continue right after this, 11th and moving up.
Perfect.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Investors Bank, the Russell Berry Foundation, Fedway Associates, Inc., PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. The law firm of Gibbons P.C. And by Health First New Jersey. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey. And by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.